Welcome back to Leeds Lately for the live watch along of Leeds United versus Ipswich Town at Elland Road in a game which Leeds really feel like they have to win. Ipswich obviously way ahead at the moment, but if Leeds can win this one and then Ipswich go and lose against Leicester in 3 days' time, then there's the potential for a 6-point swing and that gap becomes an awful lot smaller. We've already got people in the chat. Hi, Liam. Hi, Penny. Afternoon, Max. Looking forward to the great game today. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, everybody who's joining. But yeah, Liam predicting Leeds to win 3-1. I'm hoping for a 3-2. Well, I'm not hoping for, but I predicted a 3-2 for this one. Penny saying, hey, Max, let's go for a win. Absolutely. We've got to go for the win today. Like I said, there's a potential for that 6-point swing, so we've got to go for it. John and Karen both joining as well. Hi, John. Hi, Karen. Merry Christmas, everybody. Really looking forward to this game today. It should be, and I use this in my tactical preview, a humdinger, which is not a word I've used very often on this channel, but it should be a good game. It should see Leeds and Ipswich both properly going for it, trying to get the win in this game. Dan Solval also joining. Hi, Dan. Merry Christmas from the Philippines. Merry Christmas to you too. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this game today. I can't wait to get underway. We'll have a little bit of a look at the lineup in a second, but like I always say, if you find that you can't put something in the chat down below, it's because you haven't hit that subscribe button yet. So if you hit the subscribe button, you should be able to chat down below with our lovely, lovely chat. Other thing is, as always, link in the description to classic football shirts. Use Leeds Lately 10 at checkout for 10% off. Loads of Leeds shirts there if you want a late Christmas present. There's obviously plenty on there for Leeds United fans to look at. And the other thing is, let's go into the lineup. Unchanged again, so Meslier in goal, Gray, Rodon, Strauch, Spence, Ampadu, Kamara, James, Piru, Somerville, and Jorginho is the lineup. The same lineup as last time. No changes at all, which I kind of expected, but I kind of hoped for potentially maybe a little bit of a change in the attack, putting Piru up front, maybe giving Nonto some game time. But yeah, hopefully we're able to do that a bit later on in the game, bring those substitutes on. Somebody's saying that my voice isn't very loud. Let's try and I'll try and sort this for you. 1 second. Is that any better? Is that better for everybody? Audio a bit louder now? Does that help? Hopefully. Hold on a second. Let's talk a bit louder. Just checking the levels. Let's try that now. That might be a bit better. I feel like that's a bit better now, is it? Let me listen back. Yeah, I've turned it up a little bit. It should be a lot better. Yeah. Right, that sounds like it might be a bit better. Right, I think we're a bit better now anyway. Not much we can do extra than what we've already done there. 5 minutes to kick off then. Let me just move that wire out of the way. 5 minutes to kick off. Hopefully Leeds get a good result today. Let's have a look at what the chat's been saying. Everybody's saying hello to each other. Jeff in Maastricht predicting 2-2. I'm hoping for a 3-2 today. I think we can get a win at home. John saying the only thing that's worrying me is Spence at left back. I think Spence is very, very good there. I think he's obviously better at right back, but I think he's I think he's a good person to have. I'm honestly may be putting Spence at right back to combat Leif Davis and stuff, but I'm not. Yeah, I'm not sure because he's going to have a bit of a 2-on-1 Archie Gray on that side. I think you might just need to turn your volume up, Diggler. John Garshide's gone for 4-2 to Leeds. Hello, Max. Hello, everyone. SEL saying Merry Christmas to all in the chat. Penny Lane saying Mark Wood saying Que Pasitios, which I don't know what that means. I'd switch Archie to left back. Yeah, I'm not sure. But let's have a look at the table now. So Leeds on 42, Ipswich on 52. And obviously this is a big game because they have to go and play Leicester after this. Leeds have scored the most goals in the opening 15 minutes in the Championship this season, apparently. Wasn't aware of that. Ooh, Ipswich have conceded 9 in the first 15 minutes. Just having the chat with the managers now, I think. Do you know what annoys me? Or not annoys me, but just bores me. When managers get asked just the same questions every single time. It's just the Sky Sports guy. I know it's not his fault. He's been asked to ask it, but he'll just go, "Oh, how important is it to get a quick start today, Daniel Farker?" And he's like, "Well, yeah, obviously it's important. We need to go and score early." And it's just the same back and forward every single time. And it's like, come on, like just ask something different. Ask something a bit more tactical, a bit more insightful, anything like that. It's just a bit annoying to listen to sometimes because it is just the same every single time. Oh, just going to lean back for a bit, get relaxed, ready for this not relaxing fixture. Players just in the tunnel at the moment, getting ready to come out. And as well, like I said, make sure you hit that big red button down below if you want to chat with our great chat down below. So there's that, and then also here is the lineup for today if you wanted to see that. Players are heading out onto the pitch now. Also make sure you hit that like button as well because we've got 33 people in the chat and only 14 likes. Marching on together, rings out around Elland Road. Jed Spencer's gone for a third different haircut in 3 games. This time he has a very spiky number on the top of his head. Don't know why Melies just poured water on his hands and then rubbed it in his hair. His head's going to freeze. Players just shaking hands now. I don't know if anybody's seen... my tactical preview, but that was quite a good video. I think I did quite a good job of explaining how Leeds need to get at Ipswich, but I think it's certainly possible today. Heads on the neck are up. Yeah, it's a big game. This we really need to. We really need to get a result today. We've got Darlow, Firpo, Cooper, Bamford, Poveda, Nonto, Gelhardt, Gruev, and Joseph on the Leeds bench today. So we have some options in the attack there. Ipswich's lineup: Clark, Twanzebe, Burgess, Davis in front of goalkeeper Fladicki, Morsi, Luongo, Burns, Chaplin, Broadhead across the middle with Hurst up top. But obviously, like I said in that video, when they're in the attack, it kind of becomes a 2-3-5 or a 3-2-5 when Leif Davis gets high and wide up in those attacking winger positions. So it's important that we are able to counter-attack against them today. But yeah, I think it's going to be end-to-end game. I don't know about bells jangling, but my nerves are, yeah. Yeah, this does seem like a big game, doesn't it? It does feel like a big game. We've actually got really good defensive stats. Goals conceded 22, second in the division. We seem to be pretty good defensively, but Ipswich have conceded 28 this season. Let's just hope we can keep players like Connor Chaplin, Leif Davis quiet. This is a big game. This is really a big game. Now then, Ben, welcome to the chat. Merry Christmas. (3-1) Leeds, Rutter, Somerville. Yeah, I've gone for 3-2. Don't know who the goal scorers will be, but 3-2. Ipswich just having a huddle in the middle of the pitch at the moment. Leeds have theirs as well, and now Leeds go out into their positions. Come on, Leeds! Connor Chaplin's just sprinted into the Leeds half and then come back over the halfway line again. Jorginho just rolling the ball back and forth, getting ready to take this kick off. Referee checks with the goalkeepers if they're happy. Referee puts his whistle to his lips and starts the game. Ethan Ampadu back to Kamara and then back to Strauch, and then Leeds have the ball at the back with early possession, but it looks like Ipswich are flying out. Leif Davis up in the left wing position trying to press Archie Gray, but the ball goes back to Rodon, and Rodon's long ball is cut out by Morsey, and then a long ball forward from Leeds nearly finds its way to Dan James, and now Dan James does have the ball. He's in behind Dan James on the right-hand side. Oh, it's going to be offside. I don't think it was there, you know. I don't think it was. Yeah, the ball just doesn't quite get through to Dan James the first time. And then, oh, yeah, I think Dan James is offside. Yeah, by about a yard. In the end, from that angle, it was more obvious that he was offside. And Ipswich play out from the back. Ipswich with a long ball forward. Flicked on there, and Strauch's going to have to win this one. He does. Gets the ball to Somerville. Somerville, nice little flick to Kamara, but goes over his head. And Luongo steps in and kicks the ball right over to the defence, and Jed Spence has to deal with it. Gives the ball back to Strauch, and now Strauch has to find Meslier in the Leeds United goal. Now Archie Gray with it, being pressed. Now Joe Rodon. He's going to have to send this one up the line, and does. Again, that's Twanzebe that comes and cuts that one out that time, and it's going to go out for a Leeds throw-in right on the halfway line. Come on, Leeds! Jorginho gets the ball, and back to Archie Gray. Archie Gray goes back to Rodon. Then Rodon into Illan Meslier. Remember to like this stream, guys. Strauch now. Strauch to the left-back position where Jed Spence can carry the ball over the halfway line. Jed Spence looking for an option ahead of him. Decides to come back on himself and give the ball to Somerville. Then drops off to Kamara and then back to Strauch again. Strauch across to Joe Rodon. Rodon out to Gray on the other side. Gray in the right-back position. Now plays the ball down the line to Dan James, approaching the edge of the Ipswich box. Cross into the box from Dan James is good. Somerville picks it up, but it's tackled by an Ipswich player, and then Ipswich are able to get the ball away, but only up to the halfway line where the ball trickles out for a Leeds throw-in just by Kieran McKenna's technical area. Archie Gray to take this throw-in. Still hasn't taken it. Now into Jorginho. Now Gray. Gray's passed down the lines, cut out by Morsey, and it's going to be a Leeds throw-in. Gray to Rodon. Back to Meslier. And then Strauch. Now Meslier. And Rodon. Rodon looking for an option here, but Ipswich have a high press and a lot of their players get up the pitch to try and stop Leeds playing out from the back. Now Spence. Back to Strauch. Strauch to Meslier again. Leeds really looking for a way to get this out here. Meslier goes to Gray this time in the right back role. He's under pressure but gets the ball down the line to Dan James. Dan James's touch isn't quite good enough to get it to a Leeds player, but there is a couple of Leeds players pressing the Ipswich goalkeeper here. Plays it out to the left back. Testing ball, but Ampadu tries to get that one forward into the strikers and it just goes to Clark, the Ipswich player, and he has to send that one out for a Leeds throw-in. Ooh, this is going to be tasty, this game, I can just tell. Strauch now with the ball into Somerville's feet. Somerville out on the left-hand side goes back towards the halfway line and gives the ball back to Strauch. Strauch goes across to Rodon now. Rodon's got a chance to carry the ball a few yards here and does. Up towards the halfway line. Drops it back off to Strauch though, and then Strauch's got an option of Spence out wide. Takes it, but the ball's been cut out by Wes Burns. Now Luongo comes inside. Now the ball right down the right-hand side to to Wes Burns. He gets the ball right across the box, and it goes across all the way to Leif Davis in the left wing position. Good tackle from Joe Rodon on Broadhead. Now Dan James has the ball again. Has to try and go forward here and wins Leeds a good throw-in halfway up the pitch. Good defending there from Joe Rodon in that move. It was a dangerous situation when the ball came right across, but Joe Rodon dealt with it well. Archie Gray looking for an option from this throw-in. Archie Gray still hasn't taken the throw-in because there's so much movement around him. Jorginho tries to flick it past Davis, but the ball goes to Gray, and Gray can knock it down the line, but it's volleyed away by the Ipswich Town defender. And then Rodon having a little bit of a battle there with the Ipswich striker, but he wins it in the end. But it is going to be a throw-in to Leif Davis just inside the Leeds half. Davis into Morsey. Morsey flicks the ball around the corner, but Kamara picks up and drops it off to Strauch. Strauch with a nice ball forward to Somerville, but Somerville's tackled by Clark, and he goes all the way back to the Ipswich Town goalkeeper. Now Tuanzebe. Tuanzebe goes across to his central defensive partner. Now into Davis. Very good, Davis. Back to Tuanzebe. Now Clark on the right-hand side. Now back to Tuanzebe again. Ball over the top for Leif Davis down the left wing. Like I said in a tactical preview, he will be pretty much being a left winger in this game with the chance for Broadhead to come inside and play more central, which is what's happening here. Now Tuanzebe. Under pressure here. Strauch doesn't foul Chaplin there, and Leeds can come forward through Spence and Somerville. Somerville coming towards the edge of the box. Somerville on the edge of the box drops it off to Jed Spence out wide, and Jed Spence's ball's cut out by Clark. It's going to be a Leeds corner kick. First corner kick of the game goes to Leeds United out on the right-hand side. Well, left-hand side if you're looking at it from Leeds' point of view. I think Strauch was a bit heavy-handed with Chaplin there, but the referee didn't give anything, and Leeds now have a chance to whip the ball in off this corner through Cree Somerville. Somerville getting ready to take the corner towards the penalty spot. Headed by Joel Pirro! In the net by Pascal Strauch! What a start! That's exactly what we needed. Pascal Strauch heads in the ball into that open net. 1-0 to Leeds United. The ideal start for the boys in white. That is exactly what Leeds United needed, and it's exactly what they've got. Corner kick whipped in by Crescencio Somerville. Joel Pirou manages to get there. Really good save by the goalkeeper, but the ball pops right up to Pascal Struijk, and I'm telling you what, he's not going to miss from there, is he? Right in front of the goal line. Excellent, excellent leap by Joel Pirou, and then Pascal Struijk just has to win that. Leeds have given themselves the best chance possible by scoring in the 8th minute here, so hopefully we can go on and score more. Come on. Oh my God. The what do you call it? The kickoff in the middle of the pitch then from Ipswich. They had everybody on the halfway line. As soon as it kicked off, they all just flooded forward and left like 2 at the back. Now Archie Gray with a throw-in just in line with the Leeds penalty area. And Ampadu can fly that one down the line, but it only goes to Tuanzebe. Tuanzebe takes a touch and then goes across to Clark, but Jorginho is putting him under a bit of pressure here, and he ends up playing the ball into touch. And I think we might have rattled him a little bit here, you know. Jed Spence now gets ready to take this throw in about halfway inside the Leeds half. Jed Spence looking for an option from his throw-in, but he's not really got anything. Throws it inside to Somerville, and then Jed Spence again, and Leeds win a corner again. A throw-in again, sorry. Just in the exact same position it started off, halfway inside the Leeds half. Jed Spence throws it into Joel Pirou. Joel Pirou drops it off to Spence again. Spence nutmegs Chaplin. Oh, no, it's Burns, sorry. Now Spence has to come back to Kamara. And I think Kamara, yeah, he's going to go all the way back to Meslier. Under a bit of pressure here, Meslier, but goes out to the right-back position to Archie Gray, and it goes past Archie Gray, and it's going to be a throw-in, and Broadhead's going to come over and take this. I think he may drop it off to... Yeah, he's going to drop it off to Leif Davis. Morsey goes back to his defensive partner, and now Tuanzebe. Long ball forward here by the Ipswich defender, and Joe Rodon could just see that one out for a goal kick. Come on, Leeds. We need to maintain this. Maintain this pressure, get another goal. Try to take the hope out of them. Oh, my God. I didn't realise that... well... Pirou's header off that corner wasn't even a header. It hit his chest and then popped up to Struijk. So that was a bit fortunate, but you have to be there to get them. Luongo being chased down here by Glenn Kamara. Oh no, sorry, Morsey it was. Now back to the Ipswich goalkeeper. Now out to Tuanzebe. Tuanzebe to the right back Clark. Forward into the midfield where Broadhead can come deep and pick it up. Broadhead goes out wide to Wes Burns. Jed Spence is there to defend. Wes Burns looking to get a chance to get the ball into the box, but Joel Pirou and Jed Spence force him backwards. Now Wes Burns again after a little 1-2 with Clark. Good tackle there by Jed Spence, and Somerville comes forward with it. Somerville. Ball over the top for Dan James, and Dan James is going to get there because he's that quick. No, he's not. The goalkeeper has come out. Good positioning there from the Ipswich Town goalkeeper to get there ahead of Dan James, who's obviously probably the most speedy player on this pitch. Morsey now. Nice little flick outside by Broadhead, goes to Leif Davis. Then back to Morsey. Now to Tuanzebe. Back to Leif Davis again, but his pass is misplaced and Kamara can pick it up and give it to Pirou, who plays a nice snappy pass right back to Somerville. Somerville's pass to Jorginho is misplaced, but the ball nearly bounced through for Joel Pirou. Joel Pirou's chasing down the goalkeeper now. Goalkeeper goes out to the defender, and they're playing a dangerous game here. Tuanzebe with it now, and now Morsey. Tackled by... Oh, tackle by Ampadu there on Luongo. And it's adjudged to be a foul, but Leeds could have been in then. Come on, Leeds. As it stands, Leeds go up to 45 points with Leicester being on, Ipswich being on 52. Nice little chipped ball from... nice ball round the corner from Piru into Dan James. Now Dan James is in down the right-hand side here. There's no sign of Leif Davis, so they're going to struggle here. Now Dan James tries to shoot, slices it into the cop there. Or is that the south stand? I can't tell from this angle. Dan James has just got to get his head over that ball and put it on target. Lovely little counter-attack break down the right-hand side here from Leeds. Could Dan James have found a pass into the middle? Potentially, but really there was a lot of players in the box. He just needed to get over the ball. I think Dan James should have done better with that chance, and hopefully he does on the next one. Ipswich goalkeeper out to the centre-back now. Long ball forward out to the right-hand side where Wes Burns can chase it up against Jed Spence. Jed Spence does really well there to force him to go backwards there. Now Chaplin. Back into Morsey. Morsey tries to play a ball into the box, headed away by Joe Roden, then flicked away again by Crescencio Somerville. Crescencio Somerville tries to win that ball off Clark and does so. It's going to be a throw into Ipswich, but a good tackle there from Crescencio Somerville. Thank you very, very much, Karen. I really, really appreciate that. Merry Christmas to you as well. Clark throws the ball back to Twanzebe. Now Twanzebe across to his defensive partner. And he's going to have to go back to the goalkeeper here. Leeds forcing them back and gaining some yards, dragging everybody up the pitch whilst they do that. Ball with the Ipswich defender again. Leeds not really pressing. Now the ball with Morsey. Morsey out wide to Clark in the right back position. Clark plays it over the halfway line into Connor Chaplin, who's taken up a wide position. Gives the ball to Wes Burns. Now Wes Burns looking for a chance to get the ball in the box, but he's cross-blocked well there by Jed Spence. Good defensive play from Leeds there. Ball thrown backwards towards Clark. Now Morsey. Now Morsey back to Twanzebe. Twanzebe looking to try and get the ball forward here. Plays a nice ball down to the right-hand side. Now Wes Burns can try and get the ball in, and it's blocked by the second man, Strauch. Somerville tries to keep that one in, but it's going to go out for another Ipswich throw in about halfway inside Leeds United's half. Clark looks like he's going to be the one taking this. Don't know what the referee's doing here. I think the ref's having a word with someone. Oh, there was another football on the pitch. Jed Spence clears that one well as the ball came into the box there. Now Burns out on the right-hand side. Gives it to Clark on the overlap. Clark just leaves that one, and it's going to be a Leeds goal kick. He leaves it to go out thinking he's going to get a corner, and it's a goal kick to Leeds. You can't believe it, Clark, but I don't really know why he did just leave that ball. They think he caught the knee of Kamara there, but I don't think it did. The linesman's given a goal kick. Joe Rodon's going to give the ball to Meslier here. And Mellier's going to have to send this one long, and does, up to the right-hand side. Just goes over Dan James's head. Grumpy Old Man saying I watch most channels, watch alongs, but it's my favourite. No drama, nice chat. I hope this channel grows in 2024. Should do. Thank you very much, Grumpy Old Man. I really appreciate that. Yeah, we just try and keep it chilled out in here and just say it as it is. Just comment on what's happening, and I never get too angry or too upset, to be honest. And if I do, I don't scream. I just sort of go and get sad. So it's probably more depressing. But when it's good, it's good. Goalkeeper with the ball now for Ipswich Town, just outside his own penalty area. He's going to go back to his centre-back again. Now the ball forward into Broadhead, who's come deep for the ball, but he's got Ampadu chasing him. Does manage to get round Ampadu, but only passes the ball to Archie Gray. Now Piru. Piru with a nice curled ball. Oh, into Somerville, but it's just intercepted by Wes Burns, who was on the track back there. Now Clark into into Morsey. Now the ball forward to Chaplin. Chaplin down the line here. Goes through everyone to Wes Burns down the line, and just in front of him, Joe Rodon gets there and puts out of bound. Ipswich have a throw in here with Clark just outside the Leeds box on the right hand side. Hurst tries to take the ball around the corner, but Pascal Strauch deals well with him. I don't want to see Kieran McKenna's head anymore. I want to see the game. Thank you. Melier just sending everybody up now, sending everybody up the pitch and not taking a short goal kick. He's going to send this one long. Goes up through the middle there, headed away instantly by an Ipswich player, and now Leeds have possession with Jed Spence at the back. Jed Spence into Pascal Strauch. Strauch goes back to Melier, and then Melier is going to clear that one up to the halfway line. Jorginho's touch is really, really bad there, but somehow still manages to get to the ball. And then a lovely ball down the line for Dan James. Can he keep it in? He does keep it in, Dan James. Really good from Dan James. Now looking for the ball in the box. Gets the ball towards Joel Piru, headed away by Twanzebe. Now Leeds have the ball again with Kamara on the edge of the box. Goes out to Jed Spence, who plays the ball into Somerville. Jed Spence is on the overlap. Somerville doesn't use him. He's looking for an option. Jed Spence, back to Kamara. Now Rodon. Out to Gray, and then down the line to Dan James. Dan James with the chance to go at the defender again. Gets the ball into the box. A great ball from Dan James, just nobody could get on the end of it. Really like to see that kind of thing from Dan James. Cutting inside and then playing a ball curved towards the goal. If a Leeds player had got on the end of that, had been on the same wavelength, it could have been 2-0. Chaplin, the ball taken off him by Strauch, who comes really high up to get that, and now Strauch again with it. Back to Ampadu. Ampadu to Joel Piru. Joel Piru now looking for a chance to get the ball in the box maybe, but drops it back off to Ampadu for a better opportunity. Now Kamara out to Gray. Ampadu. Into Rodon. Now Strauch. Jed Spence out on the left-hand side. Jed Spence is going to look to try and do something here. Goes past his man, gets the ball across the box. Clark looks like he could have handballed it there, and the Leeds fans screamed for it, but it's cleared by Ipswich up to the halfway line, and Leeds can take the throw in. I'd like to see that again. Because it looked like he could have handled it there, Clark. Sorry, I just had a coughing fit. Melier now with the ball. Joe Rodon. Joe Rodon tries to clip that ball down the line, but it's gone out, and Kieran McKenna can actually catch it. Went that close to him. Excuse me. I think some water went down the wrong way. I'm struggling at the minute. Twanzebe out wide to Wes Burns. Burns looking for a chance to go forward again. Nice little outside of the football into Chaplin, but he has to come back towards the halfway line. Now Chaplin gets it again into Morsey. Morsey drops it off again to Chaplin. Chaplin to Broadhead on the edge of the box. Broadhead shoots. Broadhead just misses. Just water. Just water. There was a foul on Connor Chaplin there, but the ball eventually found its way to Broadhead, who had the chance to have a shot. Ampadu took out Chaplin there, and then just wide of the post from his shot there, Broadhead. The reason that Broadhead's pretty much playing out on the left-hand side is almost like a left winger, but the reason that he's able to come inside so much and try and affect things as essentially another number 10 with Chaplin is because Leif Davis takes up such a high, wide position that Leif Davis becomes the left winger, and that's when Broadhead can come inside. So we need to be aware that there's basically a spare man in there. And obviously you saw that the ball dropped to him there, and that's when he gets on that opportunity. Morsey drops it back off to the goalkeeper and then back out again. Long ball forward here from Ipswich. Goes over Jed Spence's head, but Jed Spence can win it. It looks like he was going to make a mistake there. Now Strauch, and Strauch's going to have to clear this. Strauch does clear it up the line, right to the halfway line, where Twanzebe can pick it up again for Ipswich. Now Broadhead comes and drops it back off to the defender and then out wide to Leif Davis. Leif Davis plays it into Broadhead again, and then they have to go all the way back to eventually Twanzebe. Twanzebe looking for a chance to get the ball forward again, and it does seem like their defenders like to play a lot of ball forwards. Spence wins that one, and then Kamara gets fouled. Somerville wins the ball back, but Leeds get a free kick. Got 92 people in the chat and only 42 likes. Let's try and get that like total up a little bit. I really appreciate it if you do. Meslier now with the ball. Out to Archie Gray, who does manage to keep the ball in, but he's under a bit of pressure now, and I think he may need to try an ailing flop here. No, he does well to get the ball down the line to Dan James, and Dan James has been dispossessed, but then Dan James has won the ball back and got the ball forward to Jorginho, who can hold it up, then get the ball to Kamara, and Leeds have a chance to break here. Somerville with a chance to find Piru if Piru's made a run forward, but Somerville's not going to be able to find him. Somerville goes past Clark, gets into the box. Somerville across the face of goal, and it's an own goal! 2-0, it's Leif Davis has scored for Leeds! You knew you were Leeds, Leaf. You knew you were Leeds. And you've put it in the back of the net for us. It was Leif Davis who scored it, the ex-Leeds man. Very good, Davis. Very good, Davis. 2-0 to Leeds. Come on. Tell you what, helps to have a spy in the camp, doesn't it? Really, really good play out from the back there by Archie Gray. Leeds get up the pitch. Kamara's ball to Somerville. Looked like Piru was the man who could get on it, but Somerville, again, goes right across the box, goes across everybody, and then ball into the box, and it just hits Leif Davis. I think Leif Davis is expecting the defender in front of him to clear it, but instead it bounces through to Davis and just hits his shin and goes in. Does Somerville get an assist for that? Because he should. Yeah, it just hits Davis. Davis is expecting the defender in front of him to clear it. I can hear the Elland Road crowd chanting "Your Leeds and you know you are" to Leif Davis. The whole crowd is going "Your Leeds and you know you are your Leeds." Here is Leif Davis out on the left-hand side. Ball across into the middle where Chaplin can hit that one on the volley. He's hit the post, has he? Wow, that was good. Bloody hell. Leif Davis with a really good cross right across to Chaplin, who bangs one from the edge of the box. No time at all, really, and just hits the post. That's a warning sign of how good they can be. I think Meslier had that covered. I genuinely think that Meslier had that covered. Mellier's got his goal kick now. There's been a plastic bag floating around on the pitch for this whole half, and it's really annoying me. Meslier sends this one long from the goal kick. Sensible, I think, at this point in the game. The ball goes... Oh, Clark nearly, I thought, played it into the path of Jorginho, but it was just a perspective, and eventually the Ipswich Town goalkeeper has it and rolls it out to Twanzebe. Now Twanzebe. Tuanzebe back to the goalkeeper again. Leif Davis now with the ball in the left-back position. Plays it inside to Broadhead. Broadhead turns Ampadu. Can run down the line here, but Broadhead's touch is very heavy. He does manage to keep it in, though. And Joel Pirot tackles him, and that ball's going to actually stay in. Archie Gray into Pirou. Pirou wins the ball back. Kamara can't get to the ball there because the referee blocked him off, but luckily Leeds win the ball back. But now Pirou's pass is blocked, and then Pirou wins the ball back in his own box. Now Archie Gray down the line. Jorginho picks it up. Jorginho's pass does make it through to Somerville. Nearly. And then Clark sends it out for a Leeds throw-in. I think somebody's going to get a yellow card here. I'm not sure who it is. I think Clark gets a yellow card here. I'm not sure. Oh, he handballs it, I think, Clark. And it would have gone through to Somerville if he hadn't have done so. Clark gets himself a yellow card, and up against Somerville, that's never good from a defender's point of view. But from us, that's excellent because Somerville can just keep trying to run past him all day now and hope that he gets taken out. Joe Rodon out wide to Dan James. Dan James looking for options. He's got two players against him, but he goes back to Archie Gray, which is a sensible option, I think. Then back to Rodon and Strauch. Strauch goes wide to Jed Spence out the other side this time. Then Somerville. Somerville looks for an option here, and Glenn Kamara tackles Morsey. And it's going to be a free kick to Leeds here after Morsey goes flying in. Leeds have that free kick then. And they're just going to take it quickly and play with the ball, I think. It's not going to be put it in the box. Now Kamara goes back to Strauch again. And I think Strauch's going to have to go all the way back to Meslier and does. Meslier into Ampadu, and Ampadu drops it back off to Strauch, who's taken up a left-back position. But he drags the ball up the pitch a little bit, looking for an option. Plays the ball to Jed Spence. Jed Spence can take that one in his stride and come over the halfway line. He's got players ahead of him in Somerville, but the ball is cut out by Morsey, and it's going to be a Leeds throw-in about halfway inside their half. Now Glenn Kamara. Glenn Kamara with a lovely little turn. Now back out wide to Jed Spence. Jed Spence has got Somerville behind him, but he looks for another option. This time he chips it over towards the edge of the box where Archie Gray can pick it up. Archie Gray tries to shoot. It's blocked there by Broadhead, but Ampadu can come and clear that up and get the ball again. Ampadu just waits for it to go out for a throw-in by Daniel Farker's technical area, then throws it back to Archie Gray, who's gone deeper than him now into a right-back position. Drops it off to Joe Rodon and then across to Pascal Strauch. Strauch out to the left-hand side where Jed Spence can wait for it as Somerville picks it up. Now Jed Spence does have the ball. Spence out to Somerville and then back to Spence again. Spence comes back inside and goes to the centre circle where Joe Rodon's playing. Now Archie Gray. Archie Gray into Dan James. Dan James looking for a chance to make some space here and does. Gets the ball to Pirou. Now Pirou tries to play a ball out wide to Somerville, but it's headed away by Clark, but only back to Jed Spence, who can play it across to Ampadu. Ampadu down the line for Archie Gray, who has got a chance to cross now, gets the ball into the box, deflected a little bit to the edge, and then Morsey can clear it to Chaplin, but Ampadu picks it up again, and Leeds can sustain this pressure. Now Jed Spence. Back to Strauch. Now Kamara. Now Joe Rodon. Out to the right-hand side where Archie Gray can get the ball. He's got Dan James ahead of him. Nice little turn, though. Goes inside this time instead to Ampadu and then gives it back to Gray. Then to Rodon. Rodon across to Strauch. Strauch's going to go out wide to Jed Spence here. Jed Spence looking to go down the line and get the ball in the box. His pass is cut out, though, and Ipswich have the ball back with Clark. Clark tries to play it to Morsey. Morsey gets it down the line to Wes Burns, but Jed Spence fouls him, and it's a free kick out on the right-hand side just by the touchline in the Ipswich half. Yeah, I think Leeds has just had a very good start, is what you'd say. I don't think Ipswich are overrated. Leeds have just had a very good start. By the way, I can't believe I didn't say it at the time, but you know how I love to go on about the corridor of uncertainty on this channel? That is exactly why with that Somerville, the own goal from Davis. That is exactly why, because sometimes players will end up, if you just put it in that space between the goalkeeper and the defenders, sometimes they will just end up putting it in the back of their own net, and you can get a couple of goals a season from it. So if one of your players don't get there, it's still a chance that they put it in the back of their own net, and that's exactly what happened. So great stuff from Somerville with that cross into the box. Strauch has it now, though. Now Joe Rodon. Joe Rodon out to the right-hand side, but the Leif Davis has got the ball off Dan James, and then Dan James tripped up Leif Davis. I'm not sure whether it was intentional, but Dan James is going to get a yellow card for that. He just ran across the path, I think, of Leif Davis, Dan James, and just tripped him. Yeah, I think he just clips his heels. So Dan James picks up a yellow card. The avenue of apprehension. Yes, Rob. What a way to announce yourself in the chat. The street of strife. I think there was a few more, wasn't there? Ampadu now. Gives the ball back to Melier, who's going to have to send this one long, I think. And does. Sensible option, I think. Over the halfway line. Tuanzebe chests it down. I think he's going to give it back to his goalkeeper here, and he does. Then into Luongo, then back to Tuanzebe. Then out to Clark. Clark tries to play it forward through the midfield to Morsey, and Morsey can carry it here. Morsey plays a nice ball out wide to Leif Davis, just in front of the halfway line on the Leeds side. Now Morsey. Morsey has to go backwards again. Ball back to the defenders again for Ipswich. The long ball out wide was on. Oh, the ball's gone to Chaplin, though, just on the edge of the box. Leeds managed to get the ball off him, though, really well. Clark just gone straight through the back of Somerville. I think if Somerville went down there, Clark's off. Jed Spence, outside of the football to Somerville, and Somerville can't quite take it with him, and it goes all the way through to the Ipswich Town goalkeeper. Now Morsey. Back to Clark, and then back to his goalkeeper again. Out to the other centre-back, and then to Tuanzebe again as Jorginho tries to press. He's pressed on his own there, and there's not really much chance of him winning the ball back if he does do that. Hurst has just had the ball taken off him by Leeds, and now Dan James comes forward. Dan James on the edge of the box. Dan James has not looked over his shoulder, and Luongo just came and tackled him from behind. Broadhead now. Looking for a chance to get the ball to his man, but Leeds are kind of backing off him a little bit here. Now the ball down the line to Wes Burns, but Jed Spence can pick it up, but he's lost it again, and then Jed Spence has won it again, and it's actually going to be a throw into Leeds after that Spence tackle. Isaac saying, I'm really liking partnerships formed between our wingers and right backs. Full backs, you mean, I guess. Spence, Somerville, Gray, James linking up nicely whilst going forward and tracking back. Absolutely, I'd agree with that. I think it's worked very well in this game so far. There's a synergy starting to form, isn't there, with those relationships between those the wingers and their fullbacks, and I think that's getting better week on week. Clark is getting ready to take this throw in. He's taking his time here. It's going to be a long throw in into the box. Headed away by Strauch. Good lad, Strauch. Now out to Tuanzebe. Tuanzebe tries to drop it off to Clark. He's misplaced a little bit, but he still gets there, and have to go to the goalkeeper, who's actually just outside the centre circle, and he sends it long up the pitch. Archie Gray can chest that one down, though. That's lovely from Archie Gray. And Archie Gray's actually going to win himself a throw-in? Yeah, Archie Gray won himself a throw-in, and then Leif Davis has thrown the ball away there. Archie Gray getting ready to take this throw in then. Gray under a bit of pressure here and takes it out for an Ipswich throw-in this time. Leif Davis is going to take this throw-in. The goal scorer for Leeds. Thrown into the box here. Headed away by Joe Rodon, I think, who's hit his nose off the back of someone's head. Then Davis tries to get the ball back into the box again. It's flicked on, then headed away by Joe Rodon. Now Wes Burns with an excellent touch. He's done really well there, Burns. Now Dan James is ahead of him, though, trying to block him, and does block his cross. It's going to be another Ipswich throw-in. Good defending there from Dan James. Now Morsey goes back to Twanzebe. Twanzebe then goes back again to the left-sided centre-half partner. Ball blocked, though, from that long ball forward. And now Somerville picks it up on the left-hand side, just inside the Leeds half. Tries to go past Chaplin. Drops the ball back off, and Morsey's adjudged to have fouled him there. Morsey's a dirty player, isn't he? Yeah, John, usually people just pause their real game to line up with mine. But I don't know if you can do that on Sky Sports or whatever. Dan James with the ball down the right-hand side here. Chance to maybe get the ball in the box, but it's going to be a Leeds corner after Leif Davis's tackle. Leeds with another chance to get the ball in the box then from this corner. By the way, I forgot to say it today, and as I always say, don't put it in the chat if the goal goes in at either end in this game before I've reacted to it, because if I haven't reacted to it, I haven't seen it. Somerville then, 2 arms up, crossed into the box here. Ball towards the penalty spot, headed away by Twanzebe. Free header for him to get that away. Now Archie Gray goes to Kamara, and Kamara's got Jed Spence out wide. Jed Spence goes to try and put the ball in the box towards the back post. It's over everybody, and it's going to be a goal kick. Not a great cross in the box in the end from Jed Spence, and a bit of a wasted opportunity because he probably could have played the ball to Kamara down the line. Ball with Twanzebe now. Ipswich trying to play out from the back. Clark lets that one go, and it's going to be a Leeds throw-in. If Leeds can get another one before half-time, I'll be absolutely ecstatic. Jed Spence gets ready to take this throw-in. Spence throws it down the line to Piru, but Piru can't get hold of it, and now Chaplin has the ball. Kamara does well, though, to get the ball off him, and then Jed Spence drops it off to Strauch, who has to chip it down the line. Clark now with the ball, facing his own goal, gives it back to his goalkeeper, Twanzebe, then back to Clark. Under pressure here from Leeds. Nice ball down the line from him, though, to Chaplin, and then Morsey has to send that one long up the line. Joe Rodon wins it really well, but now Connor Chaplin picks the ball up again. Now Wes Burns. It's fouled by Jed Spence there, apparently, and it's going to be a free kick to Ipswich. Yeah, that's what I was talking about, Ben, as well. I think I said that before you came in. There's a potential of a 6-point swing if we win this game and then they lose against Ipswich and we beat Preston. There's a potential of a 6-point swing there where we can really sort of put the pressure on, and I'd be happy with that. Ipswich now with the chance to get the ball in the box then. They do so towards the back post, headed away by Jorginho there with a very good header, and it's going to go out for a throw-in on the opposite side. That's good defending there from Jorginho. just heads it backwards. Now Leif Davis gets ready to take this throw in. Thrown into the box there. Headed, and then Jed Spence is able to clear that one up towards the halfway line. Now Jorginho has to try and win this. He's pushed in the back there, but he's still managed to keep going, Jorginho. And then Jorginho plays the ball into Dan James. Dan James into Somerville. Somerville's in the box. Somerville's brought down. Penalty! Penalty! Come on! Come on! Yeah, counter-attacking at its best. Exactly what Leeds United do. I made a video on this about how Leeds United counter-attack up that left-hand side. It's exactly what happened there. Somerville brought down in the box, and Leeds win themselves a penalty. Oh, Davis is having a stinker against his old club. Davis is having an absolute stinker against Leeds. I actually feel a bit sorry for him. Or I would if we weren't needing to win this game. Yeah, it'll be Peru to take this one. Although Somerville's setting it up. Oh, God, Somerville's setting it up. Somerville's the one that's going to take it. Somerville to take this penalty then. Somerville steps up to make it 3-0. Somerville scores! Great penalty! 3-0 Leeds. This is exactly what we needed. 3-0. Excellent, excellent penalty. Joel Peru looks really annoyed because he didn't get to take the penalty. Well, I don't understand why why players try to talk to the ref after it's already the penalty's been given, then Leeds have scored it, then Leif Davis is saying to the ref. But yeah, Somerville with another goal for Leeds this season, really good penalty. He had to score that because he took it off Peru. I don't know why Peru don't take all the penalties, but that was a very good penalty. Well, I honestly thought that Leeds would concede before half-time when we were 2-0 up and it would go 2-1, and that would really, like throw a spanner in the works and make us feel very anxious for the second half. But it's actually happened the opposite way, and Leeds have scored. Ball goes back to the Ipswich goalkeeper. Jorginho put him under pressure. He's going to have to send it here. Although he plays it now. He plays it out wide to Tuanzebe. Now Tuanzebe up towards the halfway line, but his ball's terrible and goes to Archie Gray. Archie Gray comes forward with it over the halfway line. Maybe Leeds can get another one here. Here's Dan James. Bad ball though. It goes to Chaplin, but then Dan James nearly gets it back but doesn't. Chaplin tries to play it forward, stopped by Joe Rodon, but only as far as Luongo. Then back to... Oh, my God, he's nearly played in... Oh, my God. Luongo nearly played in Jorginho there, but the goalkeeper was far enough out of his box to come and get that. Now the goalkeeper for Ipswich is getting ready to take this goal kick and just... Well, not goal kick, but just play out from the back and gives it to Tuanzebe. Long ball forward here from the Ipswich Town goalkeeper. Joe Rodon does well to battle against the striker Hurst. And then Jan James tries to win the flick on. He's pushed in the back there, but Leeds win the ball back. Oh, nearly win the ball back with Dan James. Now Ampadu plays the ball forward, and it's going to bounce all the way through to the Ipswich Town goalkeeper. Every time the Ipswich goalkeeper gets the ball, Leeds fans are going, oh, gives it out to the centre-back here. Just 1 minute left of this additional time in this first half. Tuanzebe. Now Clark. Out to Wes Burns. Chaplin, and then back to Clark. All the way back to the Ipswich Town goalkeeper. Then back to the centre-back again. Burgess has to send this one long. Strauch slips, but offside, apparently, against one of the Ipswich players who must have come back from an offside position. Spence takes it quickly, gives it to Strauch. Now Rodon into Archie Gray. Archie Gray tries to play a ball down the line to Dan James. It's a really good ball and a good touch inside by Dan James. Dan James towards the edge of the box tries to play a ball thinking that Somerville was making that run, and it wasn't a good ball in the end. But it is half time. Excellent, excellent first half from Leeds. Leeds lead 3-0 at the moment. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the chat below. I'm just going to go and refill my water bottle, and I'll be back after a short intermission. But Leeds at half time lead 3-0. And we're back. Got some comments in the chat which we'll talk about now. Diggler TC saying, was it definitely a penalty? Yeah, it was. Somerville's running with the ball like this into the box. Leaf Davis. So if you imagine them running like this, this is Davis, this is Somerville. Somerville's running like this, but as Davis goes like that, he puts a leg in front of Somerville to try and win the ball, and Somerville goes over his leg. And it's a penalty. So, yeah, it was a penalty. Half-time ref come on. Oh, yeah, that was before the half. Leicester fans will be having PTSD if they're watching this match. Yeah, well, they'll probably actually be thinking, oh, well, we can get them off our tail a little bit here and we can beat Ipswich as well. So hopefully that happens, to be honest. But, yeah, I mean, people, any subs at half-time? I wouldn't have thought so. I don't think I would be bringing on any substitutes at half-time, to be honest. I think Leeds have been very, very good. I don't think I would even think about any substitutes coming on. But, yeah, I mean, 3-0 at half-time. Say it quietly with me. We have to win, don't we? 3-0. We've got it in the bag, surely. So people are going to, like... People are going to hate the fact that I've just said that, but it doesn't really matter because things like that don't exist. Jinxing it and things like that, it's just not a thing, so it's not real. So don't need to worry about that. What we need to do is just put another couple of goals in, which we're more than capable of, by the way, because we've been fantastic. Just by the way, we've got there's a video coming out on Monday, Christmas Day. There's also another episode of Dream Teams coming out on Wednesday. There'll be a tactical video on Thursday. There'll be the Boxing Day live stream and what's that other thing? Touchwood. touching my desk. There'll be a live stream and there'll be a match reaction. There'll be a match reaction from this game. There's so many videos to subscribe for, so make sure you hit that subscribe button and join the Leeds Lately community, which is growing, and we're trying to get it as high as possible. 10k by the end of the season. That's what I'm hoping for. That's what I've said all season. 10k by the end of the season. I don't know if we'll do it, but we're up on 7,300 now. Hopefully we can get to 7.5 before too long. That's only 200 subs away, less than 200 subs away, 7,500. Then we've only got 2,500 to go to get to 10k. Just watching the goals back now, so that's where Jed Spence picks it up in his own half, gives it to Somerville down the left-hand side. Somerville goes inside, gives the ball to Jed Spence on the overlap, and then that's when we're in the corner that we score from. But apparently Strauch fouled in the build-up on Chaplin. I think Chaplin went down a little bit softly. But Leeds had that chance to get the ball in the back of the net, and did Strauch take it. Yeah, Hurst just completely leaves his man Strauch, doesn't he? Just looking at that corner back, Hurst was supposed to be with Strauch, and Strauch just found himself in acres of space. This is a second goal, Davis' own goal, but Dan James and Archie Gray do really well to get the ball out of that situation. Lovely ball from Dan James into Jorginho. Jorginho's hold-up play is something I say about him all the time. It is so good. Then Somerville takes it ball down the line, goes to put the ball across the box, and then I think Peru looks towards the back post thinking that it's going to go all the way through to Dan James, but it ends up hitting Davis and just going in. Kerry Williams is another one of our Leeds Lately members. Excellent first half, a joy to watch. Yeah, absolutely. Leeds have been fantastic. They've really, really stretched the play and stopped Ipswich being able to play their game. And then when they've been on the defensive, Ipswich, they've just not been very good in transitional moments. And Leeds have been excellent at exploiting them. And that is the key sort of thing that I picked out in my tactical preview. So, I mean, I'm pretty good. I just want the second half to get underway now, so that we can go and score some more goals. Bloody adverts again. Can't be good. Do you think there'll be any changes second half? Not until the 70-odd minutes. But to be honest, this is a game where I don't think we really need to make any substitutions at any point soon. At the moment, I'm pretty happy with the way we're playing. I think maybe, a little bit later on into the game, 70th minute, maybe think about bringing Nonto on, see what he can provide that's a little bit different to what we've already got. So, yeah, I'm hoping to see that. Oh yeah, that's a good point as well. That James is on a yellow, and he also has picked up 4 yellow cards, so he'd be banned anyway if he got another one. I think so. I think we need to, think about bringing on Nonto and having him as that player down the right hand side who offers you something a little bit different in those attacking phases. I think he's a better ball carrier, Nonto, than what Dan James is. But Dan James obviously has extra pace. Yeah, Dan James against Preston. Well, to be honest, I think actually I'd probably rather have Nonto in against Preston, because I feel like Preston won't be as attacking and open as what Ipswich are, and that Nonto's probably the better one because he can maybe unlock a defence without having to have the space to get in behind. So. Crossman 52, this is such a great confidence boost as we near the end of the first half of the season. Do you know what's annoying though? If we'd have beaten Coventry, even if we'd have drawn with Sunderland and beat Coventry, and then we'd won this game, we would be so much closer. We'd be so much closer, but we can't change that. We've just got to win the games that we can, and at the moment, we're doing that 3-0. Good to see us playing long balls a bit more. It's working for us down the right flanks. Yeah, because I think what's happening is that they're playing such a high press that they're really trying to stop us being able to play out from the back. And when they're doing that, it's making us have to play over the top a lot of the time, because there's not much choice, to be honest. Because it really, excuse me, that's the way to bypass a high press. You could try and play through it, but it's just... That's the problem. You could try and play through it, but the issue is that when you do get caught, it's really dangerous. So if you do play over the top of it, then sometimes you can get a bit of joy that way, and that's what's kind of been happening in this first half. It's like when they don't have a choice, Melia go, okay, we don't need to play it short. If there's no passes on that I don't think are too risky, then he's just going to send the ball long over the top. So, yeah. It's something that I don't think will happen too often, but when teams press us high up, it's a good thing for us to be able to have in our locker that we can play the ball up. And again, I'll mention Jorginho's hold-up play I think is really, really good. So, yeah, it's important that we can get the ball into his feet and get him turning and playing players in behind. I think Joel Piroe was a bit annoyed that Somerville took that penalty, but you can't argue when he bags it like he did. Hope we don't sit back in the second half. Yeah, I am a bit worried about that, to be honest, because of the way that it's been over the years over the months and weeks previous to this, where we've kind of sat back a bit when we've gone ahead, and it's like, please don't do that now, because these are the sorts of teams that can really punish you if you do that. Piroe was definitely not happy about the pen. No, he wasn't. Even the celebration, he came over to celebrate, but he didn't really. He just came over, sort of thing. He just walked over and was like, yeah, you've scored. Well done. Come on. I want the second half now. I mean, we're back on with the coverage, but... Robin Gill saying we'd be closer, but we're only halfway through the season. We had a very slow start because of the sale of the club with players in and out. Yeah, I know. That is something that we need to remember, isn't it? And the other thing we need to remember is that we don't, like, this just doesn't happen. Teams play it like what Leicester and Ipswich are doing. That's just not something that happens very often at all. And so really we need to... we need to remember that they're both having record-breaking points totals at this stage in the season, and we kind of just need to, we need to be aware of that, because they are ridiculously good, these two teams, but for some reason not ridiculously good against us. Both of them, we've beaten... Actually, yeah. We've beaten Ipswich away, and we're 3-0 up at half-time against them at home, and we've beaten Leicester away. So we're better than both of them. So why aren't we at the top? And that's because we had that shaky start. And I think if we didn't have that, we'd be right up there. We really would be right up there. When you watch the first goal, Diggler, when you see it back, Piroe doesn't actually head the ball. He goes like that to head it, but the ball actually falls here and hits him on the chest and goes through. So I think if he got a head on it, it would have been a goal for him. But because it hit his chest, it was a lot softer and just sort of bounced. Matty saying, what do you think of Spence and Somerville? I'd like it. I like it. Someone was... I don't know what... People seem to have a bit of a problem with Spence, or certainly a few people. In the last couple of days, I've had people comment on my I think it was on my tactical preview saying, "Oh, please don't play Spence. He's too slow. He's one of our fastest players." And then somebody in the chat said something about Spence earlier before this game, and I thought, "Oh no, Piroe and Somerville are friends again. They've got their arms around each other as they go out for the second half." But I think Spence has been really good, even though it's not his position, even though it's not his natural position. I think Spence has actually been really good playing out on the left-hand side. So I don't really see a problem with him playing out there, and I think he's been good, yeah, and links up with Somerville well. We are about to get underway for the second half, so headphones are going back on, and we'll just get ready to start the timer in a second, but looks like the ref may be having a word with Dan James. Don't know. Look at the way Ipswich start the half. If people are watching now, they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players on the halfway line, and obviously 2 defenders in their own half. And then as soon as they blow the whistle, they're going to play the ball backwards. All of the rest of the players are going to run into Leeds half and take up high positions. Did you watch Leeds Bake Off, Max, with ELLAND, Dan James, Shackleton, Joffy? I didn't actually. I will catch that at some point. But it's good that they're doing content like that, isn't it? Bringing the players closer to the fans. We are underway here in the second half. Leeds 3-0 up. Twanzebe tried to clear that one, and it hit Joel Piroe in the arm, according to the referee. But I don't know about that. Leeds could have been in from their silly, weird kickoff routine. Ipswich now with the ball at the back. Ball comes forward over into the Leeds half and bounces all the way through for Meslier to stop it with his feet and then pick it up as soon as Hurst gets anywhere near him. Hank Wyman saying Nonto sub for James, yellow card. Yeah, that's the one we were talking about before. I think that's the one that needs to be made, but I don't think Farke's going to make it anytime soon. It's probably the 70th minute, I would say, is when that's going to happen. Somerville picks up the ball after Twanzebe's header is not very convincing. Now Somerville coming in towards the edge of the box. Somerville still has it. Gives the ball to Spence. Spence now. Back to Somerville. Somerville tries to play the ball across, but it's taken away. And now Wes Burns down the right-hand side up against Glenn Kamara. Wes Burns comes towards the halfway line, goes over the halfway line. Still looking for an option. Does really well there. And then Kamara gets back and gets a foot in. Good foot there from Kamara and good defending. Clark now, who's also on a yellow card, remember, the Ipswich Town right back. Looking for options here, Clark, and taking his time because he can't find any. There's not really any players that are open for him to throw it to. He has to go backwards in the end, all the way back to Twanzebe. Twanzebe gets the ball back again off his defensive partner and now plays the ball forward into Hurst. Hurst's ball out wide only goes as far as Dan James, and Dan James wins it. Nice little outside of the foot back pass back into Jorginho. Jorginho plays the ball down the line to Piroe. Piroe's in the box on the corner of the box. He's coming towards the goal. Shoot! Oh, he hits the bar and it bounces away. Joel Piroe just hit the bar. Oh my God. Yeah, Jorginho does really well there. Plays the ball into Joel Piroe, and then Piroe just comes so close to making it 4-0 and completely killing the game. The ball hits the bar, underside of the bar as well. That was so close. Underside of the bar, bounces down and away, and it's going to be a goal kick. And they've taken it already. Twanzebe, ball down the line to Burns, but tackled by Strauch. Good defending there from Strauch. Now Ampadu, back to Strauch. Strauch down the line to Kamara. Kamara's got Somerville ahead of him, but he's tackled. Kamara wins it, or nearly wins it back though, but here's Morsey. Ball down the line to Burns. He's got Chaplin inside him and uses him. Chaplin back down the line to Wes Burns. Wes Burns tries to get the ball back to Chaplin on the edge of the box. Chaplin loses the ball though, and now Joel Piroe has it. Joel Piroe turns, taken out by Luongo, and it's going to be a free kick to Leeds just outside their own box. Average per game this season for Ipswich, touches in the opposition penalty box. First 22 games, 13 per game in the touches in the opposition box. They've had 3 in the first half and up till now. That shows how well Leeds have defended and stopped them today. Meslier to Joe Rodon. Joe Rodon down the line. Long ball forward here. Dan James brings it down nicely. Dan James comes inside and looks for an option. His pass is cut out though. It's going to go back to an Ipswich Town player in Broadhead. Broadhead tackled there by Jorginho, but it's adjudged to have been a foul, so Ipswich win a free kick just inside their own half. Taken quickly, and now Tuanzebe has the ball. Tuanzebe out wide to Wes Burns. Up against Speds and Somerville. Somerville now wins the ball back, and Jorginho has it. Jorginho's being pulled over the whole time there by Tuanzebe, and Leeds have won a free kick. Jorginho into Somerville, and then Jorginho tries to take a touch and just kicks it into touch, just as the commentators were saying how Jorginho used to love watching Roberto Firmino, and he was his favourite ex-Hoffenheim player when he was at Hoffenheim, and then Jorginho just takes the ball and kicks it into touch. Clark now with the throw-in, throws it in. Now Clark again. Ball down the line for Burns, but Joe Rodon can sweep this one up and give it back to Ilan Meslier. Leeds goalkeeper now with the ball. Goes out wide to Archie Gray. Oh, he's gone beyond Archie Gray again. Morsey now with the ball. Morsey drops it off to Chaplin. Then Archie Gray gets a foot in. Well done, Archie. And then it's good. Another tackle there by Luongo, and it's going to be a throw into Ipswich somehow. Yeah, he's done that a couple of times, hasn't he, Meslier? And he just seems to... Yeah, he just seems to play the ball too hard sometimes and goes past Archie Gray out on that right-hand side. I think it's because he's his left foot playing out there, and it's not as natural to play that left foot out wide like that. Hurst come and picks up the ball. Drops it off to Burgess, and then out wide to Wes Burns with a good long ball. Now Wes Burns up against Spence. He's got Clark behind him and uses him. Clark inside to Morsey. Then Morsey out wide the other side to Burgess. Goes down the line, but then picked up by Archie Gray. Now Dan James into Archie Gray again. Archie Gray gets the ball into Joel Piroux. Joel Piroux just can't quite get hold of the ball, but now Jorginho has it. Jorginho tries to get the ball into Piroux. Piroux shoots! 4-0! Come on! Now Joel Piroux gets his goal. He didn't get the penalty, but the ball drops to him inside the box. Bang! And he puts it in the back of the net. Excellent goal from Leeds United once again. And this time, Joel Piroux puts it into the back of the net to make it 4-0 to Leeds United. 4-0. Come on. Thank you very much, Ashibashi, for your super chat. I really, really appreciate that. Thanks for the support. We want 5. Yeah, Burgess plays it down the line, and Archie Gray just takes it off him, and then Dan James back to Archie Gray. Archie Gray inside to Joel Piroux. Joel Piroux actually misses the ball, but Jorginho somehow still picks it up. Then he tries to pass it, and it just drops for Piroux, who, by the way, lovely feet from Joel Piroux then. Come on, Leeds. 4-0. I wasn't expecting this. Come on, this is lovely, isn't it? We're all going to have a very Merry Christmas now. Piroux got one back on Somerville there by taking the cut-out pass that was headed his way to score. Yeah, but as long as the ball goes in the back of the net, we don't care. And we're 4-0 up. The Leeds fans are now singing "Let's Go Effing Mental." The Leeds fans are going crazy, and I love it. That's going to be a goal kick to Leeds there. Looked like, who was it, Davis? He just sort of jumped on the floor then. Maybe he got a hit in the face. It looked like he didn't, but he's still down holding his face. By the way, have you seen Ampadu's shin pads? You could see Ampadu's shin pads through his socks there, and they've got the Welsh Dragon on them. Marching on together is being belted out around Elland Road. What a fantastic result this is. Parag Marath watches on. Diggler TC, thank you very, very much for your super chat. Diggler says, thanks for the great work that you do. Have a great Christmas, mate. Cheers. Thank you very much, Diggler. Really appreciate that. Archie Gray. Now Dan James. Thank you very much, Ben. Really appreciate that. Rad Music Chat. Ben is saying, oh, the ball to Somerville. Somerville's in the box here. Drops it off to Joel Piroux. Piroux into Jed Spence at the back post. He can't quite get it under control. And now Kamara back to Jed Spence. Jed Spence inside the box. Now to the edge where Ampadu can wait for it. Now Archie Gray. Archie Gray's shot is going to go out for another Leeds corner. Sorry, Ben, Red Music Chat, but I hope other YouTubers stop questioning Farker now. Yeah, I think the thing we have to bear in mind is just that we know that Ipswich and Leicester have had a ridiculous start for some reason. And I can't see why, because we've battered Ipswich twice and Leicester once, so come at us. Yeah. Farker's doing a good job. Somerville now with the corner into the box. Oh, that's classic Leeds. Hits the first man. Dan James back to Somerville. This time Somerville might be able to get a better cross in the box and does. Goes over everyone. It's actually a worse cross. It's going to be a throw-in on the opposite side. Well, 56 minutes in. 4-0 up. Couldn't have asked for a better first half and start of second half, could you really? We had to win this game, and boy, have we done it well. Ampadu. Now to Dan James, who's overlapping him. Dan James taking it down the line here. Dan James chips it in towards Piroux, but the ball drops for Tuanzebe in the end, and they can get the ball away through Morsey. Dropped off to Clark, and then he's going to use Wes Burns out in the right-back position now. Ball forward into Chaplin, but Leeds have won it back through Ampadu again. Jed Spence has lost out to Wes Burns here, but then won it back again. Well done, Spence. Now, Strauch sends that one forward. Jorginho nearly brings that ball down there. Tuanzebe out to Chaplin. Out wide to Wes Burns on the right-hand side. Burns looking for a chance to get the ball in the box, but instead drops it off to Morsey. Morsey tries to cross that one in and headed away by Strauch. Only as far as Luongo, who then passes it back to Burgess. Burgess to Morsey and then back to Burgess again, looking for an option. Goes out wide to Leif Davis. Davis's pass cut out by Ampadu. Now Leeds can come forward again. Ampadu with the ball down the line to Dan James. Dan James is in here. He's down the right-hand side. He's looking for a chance to get the ball across the box to somebody inside. Dan James is shot, and it's going to go all the way back to Ampadu, but Leeds still have possession. Back to Archie Gray. Rad Music Chat, Ben saying, I'm not being confrontational to them, and opinions are what make content creation go around, but just makes a little annoyed that Fark was being questioned when in a normal season we would be top. Yeah, I don't think we should question him in terms of whether he should have the job or not, but I do think we have the right to question him in certain games with certain decisions that he makes, and that's what I try to do. I try to maybe question a decision that he's made, not his whole job. Is where I would sort of draw the line. Now Joel Piroux to Glenn Kamara. Now Somerville to Strauch. Kamara. Now back to Ampadu, whose name is currently ringing around the Elland Road Stadium. Dan James tries to come inside and loses the ball, but then Leeds win it back again, and Ampadu flicks the ball over Rodon's head back to Meslier. John said, I said we'd get 4. Yeah, let's get a 5th though, eh? I'd like to see some more goals. Piru being held back a little bit there, but now Broadhead's taken the ball off him, and now it's Hurst. Hurst plays the ball into Wes Burns, but Leeds win the ball back again through Ampadu, and it's like they've got no hope, really, when they go forward. Ampadu back to Strauch. Now Rodon to Gray. Strauch. Ampadu's name's still ringing around Elland Road with his Ampadu do song. Jed Spence with the ball over the top, and Somerville's in here. Somerville's in behind, and he's been taken out from behind by Twanzebe. That's got to be a red card, hasn't it? It's a yellow card. Twanzebe's getting a yellow card. Free kick right on the edge of the box for Leeds here. Yeah, Somerville just gets right in front of Twanzebe's path there, and Twanzebe trips him up. Yellow card there for Twanzebe. First yellow card of the season. He's done well to do that. Yeah, Dan James is coming off. I bet it's Nonto who's coming on. Yeah, Wilfred Nonto comes on. Come on, Nonto. Get yourself a goal, mate. Get yourself a goal and get your confidence up. All 3 of our Dutch players have scored today. True. Come on, Somerville. Let's actually hit a free kick. A direct free kick on target. Because Farker is early with a sub, Karen, but that's because we're winning. And we're winning 4-0, and he can make them whenever he wants now. But I don't understand why he limits himself to that normally. Come on, Somerville. Bend this one in the top corner. It'd just be perfect. Oh, no, it's a pass into the box, headed away by Twanzebe, who gave away the free kick. Now Nonto drops it off to Kamara, and now Gray. Gray into Nonto. Go on, Nonto, have a run. Archie Gray gets the ball just outside Nonto. Now Nonto picks it up again, drops it off to Archie Gray. Goes back to Kamara. Across to Strauch. Strauch to Somerville, and then Spence. Now Somerville with an excellent little touch around Morsey, and Morsey's just stood on his foot there. Morsey's got to get himself a yellow card for that, surely. He's one of the dirtiest players in the Championship, Morsey. Referee's not even going to give him a card here. He's just a talking to. Oh, Somerville with that little footwork there to just tap it from foot to foot and then go past Morsey. Somerville's doing his laces again. Free kick taken now. Now Strauch has the ball. Strauch with a long ball forward to Jorginho here. Jorginho has the ball in the corner up against Twanzebe. Jorginho doing a really good job of holding him off here. He's got hold of him the whole time, Twanzebe, though. And then Twanzebe wins the ball back and then kicks it straight at Wes Burns. And it's going to be a Leeds... throw-in. Spence then to take this throw-in. Now Spence again. Ball back to Strauch. Strauch back to Rodon. Now Rodon. Ball into Kamara, then back to Strauch. Now Ampadu. Lee's just rotating positions, playing with freedom. Long ball from Ampadu up towards Somerville, and it's over his head and out for a throw-in for Clark. Some substitutes are being made by Ipswich any moment now. Now Burgess with the ball. To Morsey. Back to the goalkeeper and then back to Burgess again. To Anzabi again. Back to Clark. Clark down the line to Burns. Then Clark again. Clark nearly loses the ball to Kamara, but now Morsey has it. Morsey goes past his man and gives the ball to Broadhead. Broadhead tries to play the ball into Hurst, but cut out well by Joe Rodon. And now Archie Gray comes forward. Archie Gray's been brought down there by Broadhead. Broadhead's going to get himself a yellow card. Gruev warming up, is he? I'd like to see a bit of Gruev. I want to see him get some minutes and see what he can do, because we've not seen anything of him really. Yeah, Broadhead just takes out Archie Gray and gets himself a yellow card. Ooh, actually, that was a bit of a nasty challenge. I think he's hurt Archie Gray, you know. His stud's about like halfway up his leg in his calf. Looks like Ipswich are going to be making 4 substitutes at the same time here. 4. Why is it we play so well against the higher teams and can't destroy lower teams? Do you know what, Sujal? I think it's because they think that they can take us on, and that they play a little bit more openly, and they play open attacking football, and that leaves gaps for us to just go and destroy them in behind with our amazing counter-attacking ability. And I think that's why, really. I think the teams that sit back and sit in a low block, they kind of give us less problems going forward, but we really struggle to break them down. Morsey is being taken off. Dominic Ball is coming on. Never heard of him. Hurst is coming off. And Harness is coming on. Broadhead's off. Hutchinson's on. And who's this player who's coming on? I don't know all the names, to be honest. And Wes Burns is coming off as well. They're basically taking their whole attack off, plus a midfielder. Now Hutchinson's coming on for Burns, sorry. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one, this, isn't it? Because they've taken off their whole attack, but surely their best attackers were the ones who were already on the pitch. But they have scored the second most in English football, like in all the leagues, from substitutes. Strauch into Spence. Early foul there from Hutchinson, I think it was on Strauch. He just put a shoulder in on him when there was no need to. Ball had already gone. Only need 6 of you to like it, by the way, to get it to 100 likes, and then we'll be happy. Kamara into Strauch. Jed Spence goes down the line. Up against the substitute, Hutchinson. Jed Spence with the excellent feet and gets the ball to Jorginho. Then Jorginho fouled. It's liquid football. Leeds are so silky. Wow. Jed Spence, that little move there, just in and out of 2 players, and then gets the ball into Jorginho. Jorginho fouled. And ruining that late goal against Coventry. Yeah, absolutely. Now, Somerville then with the free kick, probably about 10, 15 yards outside the box, drops it off to Kamara quickly, and then there was a chance to get the ball in the box then. We should have taken it, I think. Nonto to Ampadu. Then back to Archie Gray. to Nonto again. Nonto goes back all the way to Joe Rodon. Now to Strauch. Into Spence. Spence into Strauch again. Then across to Joe Rodon. Rodon out wide to Archie Gray. Nonto coming deep as well to pick this up and give it back to Joe Rodon again. Now Strauch. Kamara. Then Rodon again. Lee's just playing around it with the back at the moment. Here's Strauch again. Strauch decides to bring it up the pitch though this time and give it to Spence. Spence is in a little bit of space on the left, gives it to Somerville. Nice little overlap by Spence, and Spence still has the ball. Spence comes inside and wins himself. It's not a free kick, but Leeds still have the ball. Somerville actually stopped and waited for the free kick to be blown, but still have the possession, Leeds. Ball back to Kamara. Kamara into Rodon. Out wide to Gray. Now Nonto. Nonto a little outside of the foot pass back to Strauch, and then Strauch out wide to Jed Spence. Jed Spence, the nice little feint there, little body feint, and goes back to Kamara. Then Strauch, then Rodon. Then Ampadu. Back to Strauch. Strauch into Jorginho's feet. Jorginho's got Twanzebe trying to go at him, but Jorginho's done so well, and now Jed Spence down the left-hand side. Jed Spence coming into the box here, looking for a chance to pass it. Now dropped off to Jorginho. Jorginho shoots and hits the bar! Oh! It could be 6. It could be 6 or 7. That's an excellent strike from Jorginho, and this time it just hits the... Oh, it was deflected. It was deflected by Luongo. Yeah, it was going in the opposite corner, and then it's deflected by Luongo and hits the bar. Unlucky there for Jorginho. I bet he's gutted. Yeah, it was deflected, yeah. Now Nonto, looking for a chance to get the ball in the box. Here's Kamara, drops it off to Somerville. Somerville to Nonto. Back to Somerville again. Jed Spence is on the edge if he needs him. Uses him. Now Spence. Tries to play the ball out wide to Jorginho, but Clark is the one who gets there first. And Jorginho still won the ball, as he usually does. And then it's going to be taken out, and it's going to be a Leeds corner kick. Michael Brown saying, Max, an honest question for you looking at Ipswich Town. They look far from a promotion second place team, although it's hard to judge them by this game. See, the thing is about Ipswich, everyone they play is worse than us, barring maybe Ipswich and Southampton. Jorginho's his face here, I think. So when they do, Firpo and Gruev are coming on. When these situations happen, when they play against Leeds, they can be exposed and they can be got at by Leeds, and we can batter them because of the counter-attacking ability we have. Nobody else in the division has that, so they're able to beat everybody else but us and Leicester and Southampton. You know, that sort of group of the top 4. So I think that's why. Yeah, so Gruev is going to come on for Kamara. Hopefully Gruev has a good little stint here. And Firpo for Spence. My prediction changed to 4-3 now at Firpo. Firpo is coming on here for Jed Spence. Yeah, Spence will be a very good Premier League signing, I think, if we do go up. Leeds with another corner here, though. Somerville this time to take it. Somerville into the box, nearly headed by Strauch, but just headed away from him. Now Gruev has to try to go over to the right-hand side to deal with Hutchinson, but the ball goes past him. Now Archie Gray can pick it up. Archie Gray's done really well here. Tries to go past everyone, but now Gruev picks it up. Gruev does well to just get the ball back to Rodon there. Now Ampadu. Nonto. Nonto does really well there and clips the ball forward into Somerville. Somerville into Firpo. Now Nonto again. Now Firpo again. Somerville. Nonto. Plays the ball right across to Joe Rodon. Now Gray. Back to Gruev. Into Strauch. Ipswich just sitting in their own half now, not really even trying to attack. Firpo, Somerville. Somerville inside to Jorginho. Back to Somerville again. Somerville across to Gruev. Gruev to Nonto. Leeds fans all laying now. Out wide to Gray. Then Nonto. Nonto still keeps the ball despite a challenge from Harness. Now Rodon. Now Strauch. Strauch. Firpo. Firpo down to Jorginho. Jorginho does well to roll his man, but good tackle in the end by Clark, and it's going to be... some appear to have parked a big orange tractor in the Ipswich box. Firpo to Somerville. Cleared out into touch by Hutchinson, I think it was, for Ipswich. Strauch now. Across to Rodon. Nonto. Now into Gruev. Gruev to Firpo. Bit of space down the left-hand side for Somerville. Firpo gives it to him. Somerville up against Clark. Plays the ball into Firpo again. Firpo maybe with a chance to get the ball in the box, but instead he comes backwards. Now to Gruev. Gruev to Firpo. Firpo down the line to Somerville. Somerville's now in the corner. He's got ball coming over to try and take the ball off him. But Firpo gets it. Now Nonto. Oh, Nonto plays the ball to Firpo, and Firpo the ball just rolls right under his foot for a Tractor Boys throw in. Rodon into Gray. Gray into Nonto. Nonto to Firpo. Firpo brings it down nicely. Gives it to Gruev. Gruev into Ampadu. Back to Rodon. Now Strauch. Out wide to Firpo. Firpo goes back to Strauch. Yeah, it's like the tractor wouldn't start this morning, wouldn't it? Strauch into Somerville. Now Rodon. To Ampadu. Back to Rodon again. Now Rodon to Nonto. Ampadu. Back to Rodon. Leeds are just playing the ball around at the moment, just kind of chilling out, slowing things down, keeping the ball, frustrating them even more. With 4-0 up, just preserving energy, I think, at the moment. Here's Rodon. See, Ipswich are a good side, but their style of football works against the teams that are... See, what you've got to describe it as is... it's hard to kind of explain it, but basically they are really good against teams that aren't as good as us. Everybody else in the division who is nowhere near as clinical, nowhere near as good on the counter attack, they will be very good against those. But against Leeds are so good on the counter attack that we can absolutely kill them. But that's not whatever the rest of the division. When you look at the teams, they're not capable of that. So Ipswich playing the way they do against the rest of the division really works, but playing against us, it just doesn't. Here's Clark to Chaplin. Chaplin tries to play it down the line, but chested away by Firpo and then flicked around by Gruev and Firpo, and another flick by Leeds. Oh, sorry, but that was unbelievable. Oh, Strauch's just been absolutely nailed there. That's going to hurt him, I think. Got to be a yellow card for the man. Strauch was mid-air going for a header and someone's just sweeped him out. Looks like Bamford and Matteo Joseph are getting ready to come on. The two Slim Shadies. It's just a different style of play, I guess, Hank. It's how Farke wants us to play is a little bit different to that, because we just work off natural counter-attacks, don't we? Good ball out wide from Rutter into Somerville. Somerville coming into the box now up against Clark. Now to Firpo. Firpo tries to get it across the box and it goes straight into the keeper's gloves as he nearly tripped over. Will the real Slim Shady please stand up? We can't tell because they both did. Now Harness. Drops it off to Clark in the right back position. Clark back into ball. Ball to Burgess. Yeah, I think so. I think so, Sujal. I think this one or the Watford one. Both excellent. Here's Twanzebe. Here's Clark. Back to Twanzebe. Ipswich with a little bit of possession now for the first time in a while. They go out wide again to Burgess. Good ball forward there from Ipswich, but Firpo's just going to be able to see that one out, so it wasn't a very good ball in the end. And Meslier can take his goal kick just as Bamford and Matteo Joseph get ready to come on for Jorginho and Joel Piroux, I am guessing. Yeah, Jorginho comes on. I think Jorginho's just a bit gutted that he didn't score today. Leeds fans all chanting for Jorginho as he's coming off. Smiling. He's thinking, oh, I could have had a goal today. Yeah, Rob saying Ipswich suits us as they tried to play the same game as we do, or certainly similar. But we are a much better side in terms of players, yeah. So that's why we end up just battering them. Joel Piroux and Jorginho come off, and Bamford and Matteo Joseph come on. Matteo Joseph tries to win that one. It's Harness who's clipped that one over the top. Free kick taken quickly, and then Joe Roden does really well to win that back, and now Archie Gray with it. Archie Gray wins the ball, but it goes out for a throw-in. Twanzebe. Now Clark. Chaplin tries to flick it around the corner and it's just not very good. Goes straight out. I hope Paddy scores. I hope he gets back on the score sheet. Here's Burgess. Now Harness. Tries to play a ball over the top, but Firpo's just going to be able to see that one safely back to Meslier, who can actually just... He's just going to be able to hold the ball with his feet until he picks it up, isn't he? Yeah, Nonto's been on since the 60th minute. Now Rodon with the ball after Meslier rolled it out to him. Plays it out to Gray. Gray into Nonto. Nonto tries to go past his man on the halfway line. Fouled, though, and it's going to be a Leeds free kick on the halfway line. Looks like there is going to be another substitution, though. Ipswich are bringing Brandon Williams on for Leif Davis, who, unfortunately for him, has had a bit of a stinker. And as Brandon Williams comes on, all the Leeds fans are chanting scum, scum, scum. Meslier to Strauch to Firpo. Back to Strauch. Back to Meslier. Meslier sends that one up to the halfway line because he was under a lot of pressure there. Now, Somerville wins the flick on against Clark somehow, and then Tuanzebe passes it all the way back to the goalkeeper, but Bamford is going to press here with Mateo Joseph. They play it into ball, and then Gruev presses Tuanzebe and presses him into taking the ball into touch, and Leeds win possession back through a throw-in out on this left-hand side. Firpo back to Strauch. Strauch into Ampadu. Rodon. Gray. Nonto. Nonto back to Rodon. Here is Nonto. Plays a long ball out to the left-hand side and picks up the ball with Firpo. Good ball. Now Firpo comes inside, gives the ball to Mateo Joseph, who drops it off to Gruev and then back to Ampadu. Here's Gruev, who drops it right back to Joe Rodon. And Joe Rodon looks. He's got Strauch to his left, Gray to his right, and Ampadu in the middle. Goes to Strauch. Strauch all the way out to Archie Gray. Back to Joe Rodon again. Joe Rodon into Archie Gray. Archie Gray tries to play a ball down the line for Nonto. Nonto's going to be shielded away from goal here by Burgess. Man of the match, Leif Davis. Yeah. Good contribution from him. Gave us a penalty and an own goal. 2 of our 4 goals. Burgess has played a dodgy ball to Tuanzebe there and nearly Somerville nicked it off him. Clark tries to go down the line and then Mateo Joseph is judged to have fouled him. I think Joseph just got on the wrong side of him there and ended up pulling him down. Now ball. Into Luongo. Luongo into Connor Chaplin. Chaplin just drops the ball off for Gruev. Now Somerville to Joseph, who tries to poke it back to Somerville again, but can't quite. And then Gruev wins the ball back, but it only goes as far as Harness. Harness turns back on himself and has to look for another pass, which is Luongo. Ball with the pass out to the right-hand side. Hutchinson up against Firpo and Somerville. Ball back to Clark. Tuanzebe to Luongo and then back to Tuanzebe again. To Luongo, then back to Tuanzebe and then back to Burgess. Gruev wins it back and now Firpo plays a nice ball into to Mateo Joseph. Mateo Joseph goes past one man. And I think it's going to be a Leeds throw in there. I couldn't work that one out. It was very close on who it hit. I mean, it's a long journey, isn't it, for the Ipswich fans? I've just thought about that. It's horrendous. Is it an Australian thing to say CD instead of CB? Because we say centre back, but I think Australians say CD, don't they? Like central defender. Mateo Joseph trying to get past Clark. Clark's taking it out, and it's going to be a Leeds throw-in. Yeah, I don't know. For me, I would want to see Cresswell get more minutes, but he just doesn't. He's not getting anything at the moment. Is he injured, Cresswell? I can't remember. Firpo to take this throw in then. Throws it down the line for Bamford. Bamford kind of shoved out of the way there by Tuanzebe, and it's going to be a goal kick to Ipswich. Bamford and Mateo Joseph not really been able to get into this game. Could hurt us if Roden is unavailable. Yeah, I'd love to see Cresswell get more game time, but he just doesn't seem to be getting a sniff at the moment, and I can't remember whether he's injured or not. But Harness out wide to Hutchinson. Hutchinson on the attack here down the right-hand side. Gives the ball back to Ball. Now Ampadu's won the tackle, and now it's Clark. Clark plays it back down the line to Hutchinson. Oh, sorry, Harness. Harness gets the ball into the box. Defended well by Firpo there with that header, and then Clark has it again with a chance to put the ball into the box, and then Firpo knocks into him, and Clark falls over, and there was a bit of a shout for a penalty, and then a bit of a way when it wasn't given from the Leeds fans. Goal kick then for Meslier here. Firpo's doing his best to get an assist at the wrong end. Meslier just taking his sweet time over this goal kick. 15 seconds left, and then we'll find out how much he's added on. Meslier sends that one way up the pitch over the halfway line. Headed away by Burgess. Strout can just send that one back to Meslier again, though. Mellier's going to have a job, and he has to send it straight up in the air towards the left-back position. I think Firpo's going to end up fouling Harness here, or Hutchinson, sorry. Now Chaplin tries to get the ball across the botch. Ampadu picks it up, and he can clear it with his left foot here. And he does so. Now Gruev picks it up. Joseph gets the ball to Nonto. Leaves with a chance to break here. Nonto fouled. And it's going to be another yellow card, this time to Ball. Leeds have this free kick then just on the halfway line. Ipswich players at the moment are too close to Leeds there. Surely it should have been pushed back a bit. Now Strauch. Now Gruev. Out wide to Firpo. Firpo comes back. Here's Rodon. There's 5 added minutes, by the way. Gruev back to Strauch. Strauch to Rodon. Nice little turn by Nonto. Nonto goes past his man, but then tackled by Luongo, and then Nonto fouls Luongo on the halfway line. Man of the match, Ampadu. For me, I think it's got to be Somerville. I think the way that Somerville stretched the play today and just pulled Leeds up the pitch whenever he's needed to, I think he's been brilliant. Here's Twanzebe. Luongo back to Twanzebe. Good tackle by Ampadu there, but the ball doesn't go to Bamford. Ball out wide to Brandon Williams. Nonto tries to play a ball into Mateo Joseph. We look significantly weaker in our attack with these players on the pitch, by the way. It must be said. Now it is Burgess again. Burgess into Ball, then back to Burgess. Into Luongo. Out wide to Hutchinson. Good tackle there by Wilfried Nonto. Yep, it does. Rob makes a statement in the context of the season. It does. And if, like I said at the start, if they can lose to Leicester and we can win against Preston on Boxing Day, then we go 3 points even closer within such a short period of time. And psychologically for us and for them, good, great for us, terrible for them. They'll feel like we're right on their tails. And hopefully Southampton start losing as well, because they seem to be right on our tail, don't they? Ampadu and Kamara, so solid crew. I think we were already purposely slowing things down, Matty, to be fair, but even then we looked like we were a little bit... Still, we could be dangerous, because that's when Jorginho hit the bar and we had some chances. But since we've made all these substitutions, we've been a lot weaker. But it doesn't matter because we're already winning the game 4-0. But you know what I mean. Brandon Williams now being forced back by Mateo Joseph. Now ball plays it to Twanzebe. Thanks, Liam. I really appreciate that. Oh, you have a good Christmas too. Thanks, Sujal. Appreciate everyone saying nice things. Very, very festive of you. Scum losing 2-0. Who are they playing? Ball to Twanzebe now. 30 seconds to go. West Ham away. Here's Hutchinson up against Firpo. Clark. Good foot by Somerville. Goes out for a Leeds throw-in. Got to feel like... an Ipswich throw-in. Just by Daniel Farke's technical area. And you've got to think that this will be one of the last things of the game. 15 seconds to go. Here's Luongo. Bamford tries to press him and get the ball, but he passes it back to Twanzebe safely. And then Twanzebe into ball. Good tackle there by Ampadu. Full time then at Elland Road. Leeds United have won 4-0 against Ipswich Town. A statement result in the context of the season, as Rob said before. Excellent win. Counter-attacking football at its best. Somerville, fantastic. Jorginho, fantastic. Piru, fantastic. Leeds have smashed it. They absolutely needed to get this win, and they have done it in style. Leeds 4, Ipswich 0. Thanks everybody so much for joining me. I hope everybody has a very, very good Christmas. I will be doing a match reaction straight after this game, so look for that on the channel as well, talking about the game in a little bit more detail, and there'll be plenty more content on the way. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I hope you all have a very, very Merry Christmas.